Hello, Professor. This is my experiment of the Think and Do hands-on application. My name is Kevin Calderon, and I'm going to describe how an egg with salt and water will float in contrast to the egg that hasn't been put in salt inside the water is not going to float. So the first thing we did is put water, tap water with salt and an egg, and compare the difference between these two. And the main thing that is important is the more that we add the water, the more that the egg will float. And then when we start mixing it up is when we notice that the egg floats because the water and the salt are already mixed. So now you might be questioning why this happens. That's because the heavier the liquid, the greater the density. This egg floats in salt water because the mass of the salt water is displaced is equal to the mass of the egg, or more. Materials that are less dense than the liquid they will go in float. As we see here, the egg has the same or more mass and density than the water, but in this case, the density of the water with salt will be heavier than the density of the egg. This is the reason of why in many cases, when you go on the lake or when you go on the river, people tend to drown even longer, even worse, than people that go to the beach or people that go to the sea, to the Dead Sea. This is an example of the Dead Sea, where there's a higher concentration of salt, and this does not allow to people to drown, but what they do is they float instead. And that's also one reason of why there are not many creatures alive in the Dead Sea, because of a higher concentration of salt does not allow the life to expand. I hope you liked my demonstration. As we see here, the egg is floating, and here the egg is all the way at the bottom.